Hello everyone, thank you for joining us as we continue to read through Acts. Today we are looking at Acts chapter 8, but I'm actually going to split this into 3 videos just because there's so much in this chapter and I want to be able to look at each section in a good amount of detail. Today we're just going to look at the first section of Acts chapter 8. Verses 1 through to 8 is following on from the end of chapter 7 and the stoning of Stephen. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you've obviously not watched Joel's video, so you need to go and watch that first in Acts chapter 7, because we look at a man called Stephen, and he was a follower of Jesus, and he was actually stoned to death because of his faith in Jesus, and he wanted to make sure everyone knew about Jesus, that he was willing to risk his life for it. Now, it starts off with a man named Saul, and Saul actually approved of the killing of Stephen. On that day, a great persecution broke out against the church in Jerusalem, and all except the apostles were scattered throughout Judea and Samaria. Godly men buried Stephen and mourned deeply for him, but Saul began to destroy the church, going from house to house. He dragged off both men and women and put them in prison. Those who had been scattered preached the word wherever they went. Philip went down to a city in Samaria and proclaimed the Messiah there. When the crowd heard Philip and saw the signs he performed, they all paid close attention to what he said. For with shrieks, impure spirits came out of many, and many who were paralyzed or lame were healed. So there was great joy in that city. Okay, so I think the first thing that I notice when I read this chapter is the 2 different halves. So the first half, we've got persecution of people who follow Jesus. Now, persecution is when individuals or a group of people are mistreated because of their faith, because of their background, because of what they do. In this case, people are being persecuted, mistreated because they follow Jesus. And this man named Saul, who approved of the killing of Stephen, is going round house to house and dragging men and women into prison because they follow Jesus. So that first section is just is full of this negative thing, and full of this persecution. If you followed Jesus in Jerusalem at this time, then it was not good for you. And so what we might expect to happen is people actually decide that Jesus isn't worth it, that they're not going to follow him anymore, they're going to pretend, ignore him, say they never had anything to do with him, and that's what I would expect. But this second half actually says that those who were scattered preached the word wherever they went. So actually this negative thing led to even more people hearing about Jesus. So what this man Saul was trying to do, he was trying to quiet the Christians, he was trying to quiet the people who followed Jesus, but actually the opposite happened, and because of that persecution, many more people got to hear about the word of God. And we finished this section with, there was great joy in that city. And that's what faith in Jesus is like. God doesn't make bad things happen, but when they do happen, He turns them for his good and for our good. Because of Jesus, death and all those bad things can be flipped around, and we can find hope and we can find joy in them because of Jesus. Jonathan did a sermon a couple of months ago about when we feel pressured, when we feel squeezed and things are hard, what comes out of us. So like a tube of toothpaste, if you squeeze it and apply that pressure, we know that toothpaste is going to come spurting out. And what about us? If we are surrounded by difficult things, if we feel that pressure and feel squeezed, what is coming out of us? What is our language like? Are we slipping into bad habits? Is our attitude bad and negative towards other people? Or is our faith part of our life and how we react? And when we are squeezed, are we still saying positive words? Are we encouraging still? Are we crying out to God for help? Are we going to him first? Are we still loving people and putting God first in our life? So is Jesus first in your life when things get hard? Is he the first one that you go to when you feel squeezed? Is what gets squeezed out prayers to him, asking for help and asking what he is doing in this situation? So yeah, thank you for watching. We are praying for you. We hope you are staying safe. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.